Good evening, everybody. Let's see, do we have scripts tonight? I think Rutger wanted us to read uh some more of uh of his script that he posted last time. And we have Erwin, he posted some Entangled. Um yeah. Rutger, I want to say, has improved dramatically. Um
Someone else is writing the actual screenplay for it based on his story. So I think that's where the improvement came from.
okay. You don't think you don't think like his prior work was written by like more of the collaborators?
I mean, that one had a collaborator credited on the title page.
Well,
Yeah.
sure. And then we have Erwin. Welcome to the thing, Erwin.
Hello.
I want to say like I got to do something that I had always wanted to do last Friday, which was there's Dallas has a goth club here,
Huh.
and it has for like a lot, like from way back in the '90s. And I've always kind of enjoyed like the goth industrial club setting. Um, but
Dude, we spent like 5 hours driving through Arizona listening to Thrill Kill Cult on repeat. It was awesome.
yeah, except Danny was like, "Can you listen to something else, please? I'm very distracted." I'm like, "Okay,
I only like Thrill Kill Cult for 3 hours at a time. I'm not apologizing for that.
okay, all right." But on Friday there was a goth club slash like little upper part which allowed vendors. So I had a vendor table at a goth club. They brought little table lights, but like it was like they were playing like the Prodigy. The Prodigy was like the old timer music, just so you know how old I am. Because I'm like I remember when that like burst on the scene back in the '90s. So they weren't playing anything particularly older than that. But the table cost me $50, and I walked out of there with like over 600. Um,
Wow.
Oh, wow.
yeah, so I was killing it. Like Palace, obviously they like Palace. Also Guinevere, and
Also, goths kind of like nerds.
yeah, yeah,
Like it's not that weird. I've
yeah,
done really well at raves actually for
yeah.
probably similar reasons.
But I sold like a surprising amount of like Frazetta stuff. Like been having a hard time moving Frazetta stuff at like comic crowds lately. But for some reason, like goth people are like, "This is Death Dealer." Like, yeah, this is, and I moved a lot of art, and that was cool. We were
There you
buying
go.
prints.
What kind of art are you selling?
Irwin, we've met in person. You met me at a con.
Yeah, yeah.
You've seen my wall.
Oh, I don't
Obviously,
remember the
the wall
wall.
has grown, but um, well, it's all right. So, I sold, strangely enough, Emerald Weapons Cinderella. Um, so there you go, John. Emerald Weapon. I
She's
sold
great, isn't she?
no, but I did sell one of her prints. Um, I feel like LC Frietas, who's I posted in the Discord his version of Jezidro. Like to me, that's better, and that's whom
Yeah. Okay. How much did he cost?
that one I want to say Naughty and Nice was like 300. So,
Including colors?
no colors are separate, but I'm I I just feel I end up with a more saleable product, but I don't want to detract from. I sold a number of weapons Cinderella. I sold a whiskey paint like where like it was kind of Frazetta esque, or so I sold one of those, um, and I think like a Viviax print and something else, and
So you sell prints of certain artists that I guess you have a connection with.
well, I sell images that have graced my comic books.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Whiskey paint. Yeah.
yeah. So, um, you know, and people will come by and like, do you have, you know, Catwoman or whatnot? And I'm like, no, this is just stuff that, you know, I produced. But of course, at a comic show, I'm like, you know, why don't you go bother one of these other wonderful artists, and they all have Catwoman
Mhm.
stuff. But
Well,
but yeah,
so you're selling work that you've inspired, you've art directed and worked with an artist to create.
yes.
How much of the people who are selling at the cons are actual creators as opposed to say traders or collectors?
All right. So at the cons, most of what you will find are artists who are doing the big IPs.
Mm-hmm.
So when the Mandalorian first dropped, there was a whole bunch of baby Yodas. You know, like they try and figure out what's going to be the hot new trend, and
Mhm.
everyone will jump on. So you know, if Thor just dropped a new movie, then everyone's doing Thor or Black Widow. So it's they they're all there cashing in on the big comic book movies.
Mm.
I know one
Okay.
guy that he'll wait until he finds out who the guests are going to be
Right.
doing autographs, and then he'll do a bunch of art of that particular person's characters, or if it's a voiceover, he'll do characters that person voiced.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what the artists try and do is they try and go, okay, what artwork automatically resonates with the people that are going to be at this convention, which is the exact opposite of what I do. I just show up and I sell the same books because that's what I wrote. And if you don't
Well,
want to
how
buy
many
it,
are like you then? Is really where I'm going.
very few.
Yeah. So
John,
and
how many
that's
people have you met that are like you?
There
Yeah,
are
because
artists who don't want to be fan art artists.
Right.
Like they might take commissions, but like they'll
Sure.
they'll do their own thing or they'll do zines. I see it a lot, but it's like maybe 5%. I think 5% would be generous.
Yeah.
but you're
Yeah.
true creators. I mean,
Yeah.
that's my understanding of it. You, John, Danny, I assume as well, because you're selling your own
Oh
productions.
man, I have sat in conventions, miserable, wondering what I've done wrong in my life that I'm not just selling Pokemon cards and Spider-Man toys.
Yes.
I see.
What kind of
Yeah.
idiot makes their own IP when there's so much more money in selling Spider-Man toys and Pokemon cards?
Yes.
Well, that's the
Me,
difference between.
I am that kind of idiot.
Well, you're not a retailer. Is the issue?
No, I'm
Neither are
retailers.
most of these people.
Neither are the other people you're surrounded by. These are cottage industries, but they're cottage industry people who are out to sell keychains or prints or whatever of the hot new thing that's big that year. They're cashing
And I
in.
assume none of it. I assume none of it is licensed.
No.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Even if
A
it is
good-
licensed,
so-
it's a very different business model than trying to sell your own stuff.
Yes.
Like if it licensed or no, someone's going to one of those like a keychain booth being like, do I want a keychain of insert anime character here? Maybe.
Right.
What have they got?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
If they
I
come
could-
to like me or Preston or John, they're like, first they get confused because they're like, what are you selling and why don't I see any X-Men?
Right.
You
Yeah.
say, "This is books I
I have
made,"
so
and then
many
they're like,
people who look at my
ooh, or
booth.
they're like, they just leave.
Yeah, I have so many people who look at my booth and the first words out of their mouth is, "I don't recognize any of these."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing I'll say. I have. Where
Yeah, and then that starts the conversation. These are some books I wrote. I've
Right.
got this, and that. Come on over and take a look. The art's gorgeous.
Right.
You know, whatever. That's not the same thing. Like I do go to like literary artsy things as often as I can. TCAF is my jam,
Neat.
right? The biggest independent comics like festival in the world. There, people go for indie stuff, right? Like that's very, very different from a fan expo.
Sure. Yeah.
But fan expo type things are most shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing I have to fan expos, those are tough. Like I stopped going to anime shows because the anime people are just so dedicated to
Their particular anime.
their particular anime.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
I think one of the only people I know who does good at those, like, did a very manga inspired book. It's like a panda and a high school girl get into martial arts fights with a very Japanese style. Like, that sells okay.
right.
But
I did.
I wouldn't go to an anime show. I don't have anything that looks like manga.
Mhm.
Robert, I did go to a very small event recently. It was at a local comic book store, and there were maybe 5 to 10 of us there selling our comic books. And yeah, I mean, as relative to how much material I had, I did well. You know, like I had one comic book, Blues and Breast Milk, and probably about half the people who came by bought a book. So, so sometimes the smaller venues are good for a percentage wise, but you don't get as many people as some of these big cons.
Yeah, I'm sure that the one I went to was in Los Angeles, in Burbank on Magnolia Boulevard, where there's several collectible type places, lots of sports cards, things like that.
Mhm.
And it was a collector's comic thing. Frankly, I never even made it to the back of the place where the large racks were filled with comics. I was kind of stuck in the collectible thing. Some of the stuff that I recognized from way back, and boy, are they expensive. But they had 7 or 8. The reason why I went there is I saw it advertised. I heard it. No, I saw it on something on the internet, and so I thought, well, shit, they're 20 minutes away. I'll go drive over. And there was about 7 or 8 people set up with small tables, very small tables, not like I would normally see like at a trade show, and stacks of things that they had. Only 2 of them had comics that they created. They were all anime type of stuff, like what you just described, John. And that there was I'm going to say virtually no interest in it. I was the most interested person, and I didn't buy anything. And so, yeah, it was.
Yeah, like there's a lot of creators who also like just sell things that are sort of adjacent to what they do. I mean, certainly, I doubt Preston owns Death Dealer.
No.
But you resell some prints. It's a fantasy thing. I've written a fantasy thing.
Right.
It's adjacent. And, there's a certain point where paying the rent and making sure that your table justifies the expense and time counts for a lot. The thing I was at on Sunday, I was sat beside a horror author who sold like straight up horror movies.
Neat.
Just because, like, well, if you're like, oh, what's that? You want Chucky 3? Check out this thing about an evil moppet I wrote.
There you go.
Because you're going to a small town, you gotta have a milkshake of some kind.
Yes. All right. Let's look at some scripts, I suppose. All right, well, you're here. We appreciate you being here. Do we want to go?
John Lamont has something too, right?
Pardon?
Doesn't John Lamont? Don't you have something?
John
Yeah,
has
but
something.
Cyberpunk Saloon.
Splicers. Okay, we're looking at Splicers.
Cyberpunk Saloon?
That's what he called it.
John
described it. Yeah, something he wrote on Discord. He called it that. Cyberpunk Saloon. Am I wrong, John?
Okay.
That's the location tag. That's not the title of the story.
Ah, okay.
I mean, it's a pretty good title for a story, too.
The location tag is Cyberpunk Saloon.
All right. I really appreciate this generative summary. The document describes a cyberpunk saloon in California. That's awesome. Okay. Anyway.
Interior Cyberpunk Saloon Day. A retro futuristic saloon blends cyberpunk aesthetic with a Western vibe. A piano plays by itself. Its keys pressing down as a hologram of a woman in a busty corset sings. The bartender, a large, brutish man with a cybernetic arm, wipes down glasses.
Oh yeah.
3 men sit at a table playing poker. The door opens. A slender figure enters, her duster floating behind her heels. You might as well call this Cyberpunk Saloon.
There you go.
All eyes turn to the stranger as she strides to the bar. The stranger, Jewel, early 20s, flips off the duster, revealing cargo pants, a tank top, and combat boots underneath. She drops the duster on a bar stool beside her and takes a seat. We need a Jewel.
Bonjour.
Well, I'll do it because
That's better.
I speak some Chinese here. Huangzhou, you have it.
The bartender growls. We need a bartender.
Just what you see here.
Jewel tilts her head, looking at the wall of cheap liquors.
Oh, tequila.
That's the only Chinese, Erwin.
Yeah, that's right. That's Spanish. I'm sure you can handle it.
Tequila.
Jewel waves her hand over a glowing diode in the bar. A light under her skin flashes as the diode scans. The bartender stares at Jewel.
Something wrong with my currency?
The bartender turns, grabs the bottle, and pours the drink. The sheriff, wearing a cattleman hat, rises from the poker table. He signals to his deputy, who gets up and heads out the front door. The sheriff approaches Jewel at the bar.
What brings you to our town, little lady?
Jewel downs the tequila in one shot.
Looking for something?
Something? Care to be more specific?
Jewel thinks for a minute.
It's a large something.
She looks up at him, smirking. Exterior Cyberpunk Saloon Day. The deputy stands outside the saloon in the vast California desert. An empty road stretches from hazy distance to hazy distance. Elisa's point of view. A sniper scope watches the man walk back into the saloon. Interior Cyberpunk Saloon Day. The sheriff eyes Jewel up and down. Sheriff's POV. The sheriff scans Jewel's cybernetics and biometrics. She reads 80% cybernetic, but you can't tell from looking at her. Back to scene, okay. The sheriff leans in.
You're packing a lot of hardware with that skin graft.
The sheriff grabs Jewel's breast.
Easy, Tiger. You're going to have to upgrade your hardware if you want to run my software.
Wah, wah. The sheriff steps back and laughs.
Who the hell are you?
The deputy returns to the bar.
Sheriff, there's no one out there. Bitch don't even have a car.
The sheriff moves his hand to his holstered pistol.
All right, time for answers.
Jewel smiles.
I told you, sweetie, I'm here for a large, long box that I'm guessing is in that room over there.
Jewel motions to a large steel door at the back of the bar. The sheriff draws his revolver as the bartender grabs a shotgun. Jewel throws the tequila bottle, hitting the sheriff. Her skin turns to carbon fiber armor as she hops up onto the bar, scrambling up the bartender. Sorry, what?
Scrambling up the bartender.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. I wasn't quite sure because your cursor was in the middle of that word. And I thought I might have missed something. Yeah, scrambling up the bartender and wrapping her legs around his neck, choking him.
Pussy slam. Pussy slam.
The sheriff opens fire. Bullets bounce off Jewel's armored skin.
Release anytime now.
A distant pop, then a crack. Oh no, the tits.
Yeah.
The sheriff's head explodes as blood, brain, and cybernetics blast out.
Golly.
The deputy turns, seeing a tiny hole in the wall. Exterior sniper's perch day. Over 1 kilometer away, Elise lies on the ground, resting a sniper railgun on her arm. The scope is directly connected to an optical implant. She depresses the trigger, and a series of blue lights flash down the barrel as another tungsten carbide round flies out. Okay. Interior Cyberpunk Saloon Day. The deputy's head explodes.
Oh, shit.
Well, you're out, Preston.
I know.
I know. Like, and you got your camera on, so we can see you not scrolling. Jewel grabs the bottles from the wall, smashing them into the bartender's head as she struggles against him. Finally, he goes down. Jewel rolls over the counter, staring at the third poker player who sits staring at her. He stands up, staring her down. That sentence happened.
That's a sentence.
Or paragraph.
What you got, big boy?
The man runs out of the bar.
A winner, I just want to say.
We need an Elise. I think it's going to be John Lamont.
Joel, massive heat signature.
A massive cybernetic hand grabs Jewel by the head, lifting her up off the ground. Her legs dangle in the air. The cyber warrior stands at nearly 7 feet, more machine than man.
Shoot.
I don't have a shot.
Shoot.
Pop, crack, another tungsten carbide round punches through the wall, hitting the massive cyber warrior and barely denting his armor plating. A blade extends from his arm.
You're going to need something a lot bigger than that.
Suddenly, an armored truck crashes through the wall, hitting the cyber warrior. This is a very busy place for nothing visible for a kilometer in either direction, John.
Did she ever get her drink is what I want to know.
He releases Jewel, who smashes into the windshield and rolls up and over the truck. The armored truck crashes into the opposite wall, pitting the cyber warrior to it. The driver, Jacob, swings open the door, drawing a pistol. He shoves the barrel between the now exposed plates in the armor and empties the clip until the cyber warrior coughs blood and oil. The back door of the APC opens. Amos, the heavily augmented team leader, exits as Jewel stands herself up. Her skin returns to normal. We need an Amos, and I don't think Preston's had many lines.
Okay, yeah, Preston, you do it.
Tits up, just like I said.
Oh, come on. We cleared out the place just fine.
Secure the cargo. Jacob, grab Elise and rendezvous back here. I'm going to have a chat with our friend here.
Copy.
Jacob backs the APC out of the hole in the wall, sending the cyber warrior collapsing to the ground. Jewel walks toward the large steel door in the back. Amos kneels down beside the cyber warrior. Its motors whine as it tries to move. A blade extends from Amos's arm, and he stabs clean through the armor. What was the point of the armor?
Well, I mean, look, it's the same as Stormtrooper armor, right? It looks kind of cool and gives you an identity.
Yeah.
It's made of plates. That
Moving
guy got
on.
rammed by a truck.
Yeah.
So now they're not all aligned properly.
Yeah.
Amos?
That would be your spine sever.
What the hell word is that?
Seveliseg.
Seveliseg. Copyrighted immediately.
That's the word you wrote, John. That should be your title.
With a capital E.
Frick.
From a small computer on Amos's You're the one who wrote it, John. Why
Oh
are
my
you the one
God.
who's most surprised about this?
It's the Kofefi of
Seriously. From a small computer on Amos's gauntlet, he plugs it into a port on the side of the cyber warrior's neck.
Let's see if we can't find out who hired you apes.
The screen loads up, brute forcing its way into the cyber warrior's systems. Interior cyberpunk saloon, the backroom day. A large stasis chamber holds a nude African-American female with a corporate logo birthmark on her butt cheek. Well, now it's a John Lamont script.
Absolutely.
She doesn't breathe in the fluid. No air exits her lungs. If it weren't for the biometric display showing a heartbeat monitor, one might think she was dead. Jewel kneels down, inspecting the display. She presses a status button. Life system normal. Containment protocol 100%. She stands up, looking at the woman.
Don't worry. You'll be home soon.
Jill, is the cargo secure?
Yeah.
Well, bring it out. We'll move it as soon as Jacob and Elise are back.
Copy.
Jewel leans in, then lifts the stasis container onto her shoulder. Interior Cyberpunk Saloon Day. Amos disconnects his computer from the cyber warrior as his system sparks and burns out. Jewel enters from the back room, holding the container on her shoulder like it is a 5-gallon jug of water, heavy but easily manageable despite it being bigger than her. Jacob runs in through the large hole in the wall.
Who's Jacob?
Amos, we got to move. Reapers.
Shit.
Exterior Cyberpunk Saloon Day. Jacob and Jewel slide the container into the back of the APC. Elise takes a knee, propping up the sniper railgun. Her cybernetic eye opens into a port that she connects the scope into. Elise's point of view. Several desert buggies race across the stand towards them. Back to scene. Jewel secures the container as Jacob gets back to the driver's seat.
6 bogeys.
Elise fires the sniper railgun.
Elise, ride with Jacob. Let's move.
Elise disconnects the scope from her optical cybernetic, which closes and looks like a normal eye again. Amos grabs the railgun before climbing into the back of the truck. Elise jumps into the passenger seat as Jacob floors the engine, charging out into the long-abandoned interstate. The end.
The end. Well, you know, I liked it, John. I think that's a cool setting. We have a couple of lady action heroes, and a naked black chick. So that's how I definitely know this is a John Lamont script. And you know, we had some guys who, some of them died, others stood around, others gave some orders. And the black chick is currently desired. I'm not exactly sure why, but she's in stasis. I'm sure there's some kind of cool story behind that. I'm sure she's valuable to someone, which includes what seems to be our main characters. Danny.
I liked it. There was a reasonably clear goal, a fairly clear protagonist, and it was definitely a cyberpunk saloon story. So it meets the requirements, and it's exactly what it says on the tin.
Yeah, it was. There's a lot of action, a lot of bullets. There's a good deal of preparation for the rest of the story. And yeah, it is curious what is the importance of this woman. I'm wondering what's going to happen next.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I'll do it. It's I like it. Obviously, I like the title. Cyberpunk Saloon can be so many different experiences. I like that it's anchored in a particular environment, almost contained, and it's full of action, which is really kind of exciting. It's a stuntman's delight, or stunt person's delight, because there's so many women involved. But it's it hits all the notes that you would want from a cyber scene of people, whatever they are, droids, interacting. And there does seem to be some interaction there, which sometimes your stuff doesn't really have. There was connection. So I like that.
This is a bit of a backhanded compliment.
Wait, what did you say, Robert?
Well,
you said there is some interaction there, which sometimes some of your stuff lacks.
Yeah, well, sometimes the characters just talk at each other, and in this case, they interacted. There was curiosity that was displayed by the sheriff. There was fear displayed by the sheriff, preparing to, sensing danger, and it was clear Jewel had to communicate with several different people, along with this Amos asshole, who's telling them what to do. So they had a little more depth, I mean, sometimes you have a lot of people just talking at each other, John. So.
How could it be made better, Robert?
Well, I think that I don't understand why they're droids when there's clearly no humans around. So what's the pretense? Who are they dressing up for as these human characters? Why bother? So I'm not sure I understand the need for that. Are they trying to fool some humans that exist somewhere else in the story
Now,
that we haven't seen yet?
now, why are you saying they're droids as opposed to cyborgs?
Okay, cyborgs. Fair enough.
Well,
let's
cyborgs would still be human-esque.
They are humans
And-
with augments.
Right, yeah, augmented humans.
So they're augmented humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
fair
you
enough.
know, and
that explains
you
it.
normally see in a cyberpunk story.
Yeah, like that's a trope at this point.
Yeah, it's okay. So then it begs another question, and I don't mean the logical fallacy of it. It's just that it makes me wonder of why they have the so much armament in an environment where they know, that there's limits to it. In other words, that they're exposing themselves to a danger. That is very human because that's what bank robbers do. But there's just something about it that felt a little unnecessary, considering like you're going to go steal something that they want very much, and they're not entirely prepared for what they're going to encounter. So the armament that they have is like, gee, I hope this works. And so I felt that was like,
When you talk about armament, are you talking about guns or are you talking about armor?
well, I'm talking about armor and I'm talking about guns, the weapons that they use and the defensive materials that they employ. So it just feels like there's a lot of stuff there, but it's destined to fail at every stage. So
I'm so confused. Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about, okay, let's
Are named
The sheriff-
characters or are
the
not
sheriff-
named
the-
characters?
all
Well, one
the
thing I
characters.
think like the cyber warrior who seemed pretty well armored but was easily dispatched. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also the sheriff, easily dispatched. He is a man who's prepared for interactions with enhanced cyberborg. In other words, that it's like I'm all built up and I'm ready for action, and I know you're going to kill me immediately. So it's like too easy for them to fail, or have their defenses fail, or their attack weapons not be effective. And it just felt obvious to me. That's all. That I'd like to see them be, if they're going to have armament like that, have it be really effective. That's scary. Like, what the hell's going to stop this? Well, everything's going to stop it because everything fails. To me, okay, I think I've said enough, but that's how I felt.
Erwin,
And I liked it.
Okay. How could we made better, Erwin?
Yeah, I'm not that concerned about explanations about how anything works. I mean, it's a cyberpunk film,
Sure.
Or a story rather, and I kept hearkening back to the first 15-20 minutes of Face Off, which is one of the super action sort of openings that I recall fondly in my life. And I'm trying to think of like, why did that work so well? And of course it has lots to do with the actors and the production values and so on and so forth.
John Woo.
Yeah. And so because it's only the first 7 pages, but I'm still and I think you'd easily fix this, but I think I need to feel a little bit more interest in one of the characters. Right? This is the first 7 or 8 pages, something like that. Yeah. So that's what I would need. And if you had like fantastic actors, if you had like whoever it was, the Pollux brothers that were being played in Face Off, whoever they were, if you have fantastic actors and great directing and so forth, yeah, immediately you're drawn in to these people and stuff. But to me, this is why it seems so difficult to get an action film produced in a Hollywood, because like this type of script can be written churned out like by a lot of people, and there are tons of them out there, right? But then it's the people who have some sort of who have either their script is really, really interesting somehow, or they have some name attached to it, and you know the money can say, hey, you know, this is another action film, but we got so and so, we got crews attached to this, and you know it's going to look good, it's going to be interesting. So I would try to make it somehow more interesting. That's it.
Danny.
I would like to see better characterization of our protagonists. Although they don't need to talk about what they're doing here, they only talk to each other about what they're currently doing, which is boring. Doesn't tell us anything about anyone. I'd like to see a conflict that, to Robert's point, is not pro forma and, you know, actually involves any of our protagonists getting hurt, unless, you know, the sheriff is secretly the hero, at which point, good job.
Yeah.
Seems unlikely because not enough tits. I've read your scripts.
Well, also, his head kind of explodes.
Yes.
I don't see how that would be a problem. This is a cyberpunk. But yeah, so there's that. Also, I'd love to see the threats not literally teleport in from the middle of nowhere. After you establish that there's nothing else in the bar, things show up in the bar that you did not establish were in the bar. So with the very small number of moving parts you had, you were not able to actually create a scene, and you had to invent more parts, which suggests you might want to sort of go back and actually include some exposition or characterization to show what the challenge is, and have that actually be the story instead of just having to require a cyber warrior to show up out of nowhere or a truck to show up out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think I would ditto a lot of that. It's when you're showing us things like a cyber warrior, you know, he's all armored up, and then boom, he's dead. And for that matter, here's some law enforcement. Boom, they're dead. When all the challenges are, you set the tone for the whole story here in the opening scene, and you know, Diane and I have been watching the James Bond movies before they go off of Netflix, and the opening scene is like a big thing. A lot of times it's like got like the most daring stunts that you look back and go, wow. Like in Moonraker, there's this whole sequence, but it's like an action sequence that's skydiving with a guy without a parachute, and they actually shot that. They actually had a guy fighting without a parachute. They had to, you know, like, and it's like, wow, that's pretty cool how they do that, you know, and it establishes like stakes and then sets the whole tone of the movie. It's gonna be death defying and stuff, but you know, not like easily trounced. You know, like if James Bond just waltzes through all the opposition in the opening scene, then that suggests to you that that's the movie itself will lack stakes. So I would like the challenge to be greater in the opening scene. There you go. Yeah. Okay. All right, Erwin. Let's look at what we got here with Entangled. So tell us about Entangled.
Well, in the first 10 pages, we saw a glimpse into Anna's early life. She's into physics, and she meets the priest. Well, that's the later in life. Yes, we see her also as a 23-year-old, and she's quite active.
She is. Yes.
And in the first 10 pages, she meets Jay, who apparently is also interested in physics, pretending to be a physics student as well at UT. So they meet at a pool bar, and they discover a weird ball that seems to predict the past.
There we go.
Predict the past? That sounds pretty easy.
Yes.
Exactly.
There you go.
I do love how Acrobat has gone from asking if you want the summary to just giving it to you anyway.
Just providing the summary. Yeah, this document recounts a night in a Ukrainian Orthodox church in Chicago. Thank you. All right.
Ukrainian Orthodox Church. Okay,
That's what it said.
what that's okay.
So
I
should
don't
we
think
start?
Adobe Summary knows how to read a screenplay.
So should we start on page 9 or 10?
10.
10. Yeah, 10 is good.
Yeah.
I think we ended on 10.
Okay. All right. We need a Anna.
All right, I'll play Anna.
Let's see.
Leading to a love child.
Jay squeezes her face playfully.
Is this another trap?
Have you ever had a girl leave you with a dirty Sanchez?
Jay takes a step back.
No, and I think the term is racist.
I've drawn dirty Sanchez mustaches on many men.
That's hot. I'm not putting this 8-ball anywhere inside either of us.
Anna takes the ball from him.
Because it's mine. I will create it and send it back in time to myself.
You will invent it and time travel. A mythical destiny of your own mind.
You quantum heads are the ones who believe your minds make things real.
Oh, you Einsteinians think it's all straightforward, so you have no way to explain existence itself.
Mistakes are made.
Jay snatches the ball back. Anna speaks slowly.
Are you familiar with the mating rituals of the Black Widow?
A look of fear flashes across Jay's face. Interior bedroom night 2023. Jay and Anna copulate. Anna is silent on her belly. No need for nudity. Good enough. We focus on the 8-ball, which Jay holds on the small of her back. Anna reaches back to try and grab it, but Jay moves it ever so slightly to keep it out of reach. Dude, that's crazy sex. All right. Later, missionary position. Their breath heavier now, but move relatively slowly, which now I'm wondering where the 8-ball is. All right.
Not
You're
inside.
good.
I know.
I don't know how you do it.
It's not me. It's the ball.
There you go. The ball sits, on Jay's back as he moves. Okay. All right. Okay, sure. It rolls this way and that way according to gravity. Anna tries to grab it with one hand. The ball eludes her. The other hand, the ball rolls away, but still on Jay's back. Finally, in an astounding act of flexibility, Anna reaches for the ball with both feet. She almost has it. Anna's face in silent orgasm. This is the craziest sex. All right. The ball settles on a straight up yes between Jay's shoulder blades. Jay stares at Anna's face.
Hello.
Jay scoots off of Anna and grabs the ball from his back. He places the ball in her limp hand. Anna's face softens a bit, but she is staring deep into the ether.
Are you okay?
Interior Orthodox Church Library flashback 2012. This room features bookshelves, a table for studying, and a pool table. Andreas guides Anna at 12, brainy but naive. As she works on Einstein's field equation, he points at the paper.
And
John.
if you okay, go. John, yes, please.
And if you assume that the speed of light is constant, then you'll see the time.
Anna rolls the cue ball at the 8-ball, knocking it away.
Is relative, slowing down at higher speeds and even going backwards beyond the speed of light.
He pats her head, then recalls something. Andreas?
Oh, do you want to see times act weird?
Interior labyrinth beneath the church night flashback 2012. Andreas pulls Anna at 12 through the oddly lit hallway whose walls now feature both saints and scientists. Interior the room beyond time night flashback 2012. As Anna at 12 watches him, he points a particle detector at the clock. Tries different angles, nothing, nada.
Why is this not detecting?
Anna is examining the painting of herself at 16 years old. The person in the painting looks both terrified and enraptured simultaneously.
This scares me, Father Andres.
And this clock frustrates me.
Andreas walks to Anna and stands above her, looking at the painting. The resemblance to Anna at 12 is striking.
It's not palpable.
What is this, a Draco?
Do you have no? Do you have any older sisters, Anna? This girl looks like you.
No, Father Andres, and my mother had darker hair and was cute.
This girl is beautiful, Anna. Perhaps she is peering into the eye of an all-provoking god.
Andreas accidentally points the instrument at Anna. The readings go off the chart. He stares at the instrument, adjusts his angle. Andreas gasps. Anna, at 12, turns to the priest, her face just a hint of that fear and wonder.
What is it, Father?
Andreas takes a step backwards until he bumps into the wall with the clock.
Tick, 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 tick.
Andreas.
God and Einstein.
Anna.
Agree on one thing: destiny, determinism. What? That's two things. What's wrong?
Andreas holds his head in his hands, incredulous. Dissolve to interior room beyond time. 9 months later, Andreas and Anna at 12 sit on the bed, which is covered with various papers, covered with calculations.
Okay, so now that you have integrated the readings from this room with the particle levels emitted by your body, it is possible that the girl in the painting.
Yes.
Is it possible?
Father picks up.
Let's see. Anna in the painting.
Father picks up the painting of Anna at 16.
Anna at 16, yes.
Is you, Anna Kasparov.
Anna continues scribbling on her paper. She does not look up for several seconds. Finally, she writes the mathematical symbol for infinity at the bottom of her calculations. It resembles an 8 on its side.
Tick, 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 tick.
The ticking speeds up. They stare at the infinity symbol, trying to understand. Is it just a mathematical? Sorry.
Is it just a mathematical singularity, or does it mean
Thunk.
Dun, 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 dun.
Anna and Andreas turn to look at the clock. It's now 7:59.
My God, it.
While Anna shrinks back towards the headboard, Andreas approaches the clock. Anna at 12 holds up the picture of herself at 16.
Father, my calculations indicate that my body has and will traverse universes, and it will skip in time.
Anna looks at the painting and then at Anna at 12.
Go. So someone painted that portrait of you.
In the future. In another future. Okay. I have been in this room beyond time, at a much later date.
Andreas cups Anna's face.
And did I depict your face at the moment you gave birth?
I never imagined I would.
Gave birth to the Son of Man.
The Christ, Father. Why must he be a scientist? Why not a carpenter?
He is all in one and one in all. Or I'm sorry, that's the Musketeers. He is all in one, Anna, and you will give birth to him.
What proof do you have, Father?
Andreas grabs Anna at 12 by the shoulders.
You, Anna, you're the proof, and you just produced the proof.
I did, Father. That's true, I suppose. I just did.
Anna realizes that he is handling Anna too roughly. Considering who she is, he drops to his knees.
You are the Yokokos. You are the mother of God, the mother of the scientist savior.
Anna at 16 stares into Andreas' eyes, which are lit with the fervor of a true believer.
Wait, when did she turn 16?
That's supposed to be Anna at 12. It's supposed to be Anna at 12. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I mean, this scene's been very confusing, so I wouldn't be surprised if she's suddenly 16 in the
All
middle
right,
of the scene.
Andreas.
And me, I must play a role in all of this, yes.
Why is that, Father? You sound somewhat narcissistic.
You're right. I am here to serve
You're the one
God.
tripping universes, bitch. Right.
We must protect you, Anna. Keep you from this filthy mudslide outside.
A foot stomps on the ground. They turn to see Anna's father in the doorway. He stares at Andreas, whose eyes still fixate on Anna. Andreas is sweating and panting.
What's happening here, father? What are you doing?
Andreas looks at Kasparov and opens his mouth. Nothing comes out. Andreas stands up, stumbles backward. He falls on the truck and knocks over the nesting doll that had been sitting directly under the clock. The nesting doll splits open upon impact, and out rolls a white cue ball. Andreas snatches up the cue ball.
It's another sign. God put this ball here, not me. Wow.
Kasparov pulls Anna towards the door.
No more physics tutoring. Goodbye, Father Andres.
Kasparov drags Anna away, and Andreas follows to the doorway.
Anna, you're destined to return, Anna. Do you believe? Do you believe who you are?
Enter Jay's bedroom night into flashback. Anna's still staring into ether as Jay washes her face.
Yes, I believe.
You believe what?
Go away. I have PTSD flashbacks.
Oh. That good, huh? All right. Enter Anna's home day flashback. Anna, now 16, dressed way too chic for her age, comes home from school. A laptop plays a video of Anna and Kasparov singing a folk song. She smiles.
I'm home.
Anna turns the corner to the kitchen to find her father face down in a pool of blood, the back of his head bashed. Oh, well, that's sad. Anna backs away as she starts to hyperventilate. She searches for her cell phone. The doorbell rings. She turns in fear.
It's Father Andres. Andres.
Andreas enters and sees Anna's face and rushes to her. He looks at Kasparov's body.
My God, they've got him.
Andreas checks for Kasparov's pulse while eyeing the room.
We have to get you to a safe place. Putin killed him for being a dissident, for being pro-NATO.
Anna stares blankly in shock. Andreas picks up a bloody white billiard ball near the body. He places it in his coat pocket. Andreas puts his hands on Anna's shoulder and stares mesmerizingly into her eyes.
Listen to me carefully. I am the only one you can trust with your life, with your body. Oh, that's creepy to say to a 16-year-old. And with the truth.
But she's older beyond her years, so it's not that creepy, really.
Oh, no, right. Of course not.
Right, yeah.
That depends on who you ask on Twitter these days.
That absolutely is, yeah. This will get you absolutely bashed on Twitter. He pulls her gently towards the front door. Exterior Kasparov home day, flashback 12. Andreas pulls Anna along the street. A disturbed drug addict approaches, and Andreas shoves him away. Jay, at 16 in this flashback, runs on the sidewalk at a distance.
May, where the hell are you?
Anna looks towards Jay with apprehension. Andreas rushes Anna into his car. He gets in too. They drive off. Interior bedroom night, return to present 2023, time stream 1. Oh, my goodness. Jay is sitting over the supine Anna, tucking her in quotes, to bed and brushing her teeth out of her eyes.
Her teeth?
I think it's brushing her hair out of her eyes.
Brushing her hair.
That is,
I would hope that her teeth are not in her eyes.
Well, I thought tucking her in, I immediately thought of brushing the teeth.
If I had teeth in my eyes, I would also have PTSD flashbacks.
There you go.
What are you doing?
Just being nice.
No one asked you to be nice to me.
You know they said that. You know what they say.
I don't know what they say.
End of scene.
All right. Exterior Kasparov day, flashback 12. Andreas pulls Anna along the street.
Be kind. Rewind.
A disturbed drug addict approaches, and Andreas shoves him away.
May, where the hell are you? Oh, shit.
The addict jumps out of the way, and Jay barrels into Andreas. Andreas falls to the sidewalk, and the white cue ball rolls out of his coat pocket. It is stained with blood and hair. Interior bedroom night. Anna is still staring wide-eyed into the ether. She blinks herself out of it. She turns to look at Jay, falling asleep. Anna.
What is your sister's name?
Her name is May. Have you ever met anyone named May?
No. Did you ever hang out at the Ukrainian village back home?
I went there to look for my sister on the day she ran away.
Jay lies down, putting his hand over his eyes.
Does this ball change the...
Don't say it. Okay, say it. The ball doesn't predict the past.
It
And
changes
Just
the past.
past.
as in the double slit delayed
No,
response.
that's my line.
Oh,
As
sorry.
in the double slit delayed response, the future dictates the past. The ball turns up yes.
Making us knock it in the past.
Entangled particles change each other across both space
And time. Yes, but large objects cannot be entangled,
then it must be a relativistic effect.
indicating I, not you, created this.
She throws the ball in the air.
Can you comprehend how brilliant
Oh.
I am?
I see. No, I can't.
Does that mean 10 pages?
Yes, that was 10 pages. All right. Well, Anna.
Wait, did we start on 19?
We
No,
started
we
on
started
9.
11. And
We
read
started on
21.
9, not
We
11.
started on 10. We started on 10, so yeah, 10 to
Oh, okay.
19. 10.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. That just means you're really into it, John. All right. I mean, this is interesting. We it's very physicsy. Where we're dealing with all kinds of cool quantum relativistic concepts and sex and Anna and Jay and cue balls that change the past. Which is way more powerful than predicting the past. And Anna, and she's interesting. I feel like she's projecting when she calls other people narcissistic, but that's just a character trait, really. And we had a room beyond time. What do you think, John?
I'm disappointed the sex had no nudity. Oh no, wait, we're doing good things. Yeah, no, the concept, your room beyond time concept, I think remains the strongest thing you're working with in this story. So, and a couple of things that I recall from the last time did feel clearer and were easier to follow. So, yeah.
Okay. What things were they? I mean, I'm kind of
the murder. I remember being very confused about that before, so that definitely was. It was much more obvious that Father Andres is up to no good.
Danny.
Mm-hmm.
There was a portion of this in which two people engaged in dialogue about the same thing, and it actually looked like a conversation human beings might conceivably have.
There you go.
Thanks. Rob?
All right, Robert.
Yeah. Well, that was what I was going to say is that it felt conversational and that there was some sort of a relationship happening with both the, if you will, the thrust and parry of challenging each other and accepting each other for what they are. So that I liked it. That part worked for me. And I think that was something that needed to happen from the previous versions of this. And again, I also agree with John about the some of the sequences are a little clearer as to what actually is going on with them. And so because the challenge that you face in it is that you are playing with time, so we're constantly concerned with looking at what time is this, but that is kind of what's interesting about it is playing with the time, as I've said before. So
Robert, let me ask you a question. Did you get that, like, in the original flashback, Father Andres and Anna get into the car and drive away without any issue, and in the second flashback, Jay runs into them and the ball falls out? Like, there's a difference, that something changed in the past.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm addressing. Is that you're playing with the same, with different perspectives of the time, because the intervening variable is Jay, that comes into it with a different agenda, if you will, and so that's influenced the scene differently. So this is the entanglement that I think that you need to play with throughout. Um, so a good job in getting that written into it.
Thanks.
Okay, let's talk about constructors.
Go ahead.
I got confused because Anna, you had Anna at 12 as a character, Anna at 16 mentioned but never listed as a character, and then straight Anna. You should name them as all three different characters because frankly they are. And because the time is so important, mentioning it in the scene headings isn't going to help us or the audience at any rate. So you visually, if it were a comic, we would see that she is rendered as a younger person. But right now it's difficult to follow. So the character dialogue needs to be labeled as to the age they are when they're having that or in that a given scene. And the you I just keep harping on it. The time room, the clock room, I think needs to be referred to or hit again, even if on a smash cut to a scene where they're in the time room of what's going on. They seem to spend time in the room, very engaged in a conversation, and then we kind of abandon it. I'd like to see a through line of that time room because that is, that's somebody just said it. I can't remember who. That's one of the strongest points that's there. And each time you write this, it gets stronger. So you need to keep going that direction. So I like that you've improved it so much on each iteration. Good job.
Yeah, I've cut out a lot of stuff that just I've decreased the importance of Jay as a character. Like he's basically a secondary compared to Anna. And the reason why I didn't put Anna at 16 in all caps is because of the just trying to follow the industry standards. Because I'm thinking you don't want to have three different actresses. So if you have the same actress play Anna at 16 to play Anna at 23, then you don't put it on all caps. But I think for the sake of clarity, I think I will put Anna at 16 in all caps. And I thank you for.
Yeah, let the director make that decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't make that. It's very likely that you are correct that if this were cast, they would use the same actress for both, but that'll be their decision to make. I think trying to make the script, your story is confusing enough as it is. You don't need to confuse it even more. I mean, honestly, I had no idea what
challenging versus confusing. That's an important point, John. It's that we are going to be challenged by this. I harken back to Memento, as that was confusing until you began to get the rhythm of what's there. And so you need to keep it in the challenging range, Erwin, not in the confusing range. And that's going to be tough.
You also need a character. You also need characters that people actually want to deal with in that challenging situation. Because, I mean, it took me, I probably saw Memento 3 or 4 times before I actually got it. But there was still enough in that story that made me want to go back and revisit it and try to figure it out. And I don't. And the concern with a piece like this is that you don't have. I don't feel like you have that yet. Memento is a good one. I know I reference Cloud Atlas a lot because this reminds me so much of Cloud Atlas. But Cloud Atlas had Tom Hanks.
Yes.
Tying it all together, and you don't have Tom Hanks. So, like, I
feel like the actor is less important than maybe like the character. That's the true.
It is, especially in this point, because you don't have Tom Hanks already assigned to your project. Like, I don't know if Cloud Atlas would have worked if Tom Hanks wasn't playing the narrator. I really don't know if that movie would work without him. Then the fact that they got him, I think, is what helped make that movie work, because that's also confusing AF. Whereas Memento was definitely more of a character piece, and we really connected with this guy, and we really we wanted to join him on his journey as he's trying to solve a murder with this handicap that he was dealt. So we kind of connect with that. And it's a very interesting concept. What do you do when you can't remember anything past 5 minutes? How do you solve a murder mystery when you can't remember? And you have some good concepts in here, but I'm not sure you're using them to your full potential. And I feel like it's also very, very confusing. And I'm not a physicist, so I have no idea if any of this science-y, conversation-y stuff is even accurate. But I know somebody for like me, it all goes over my head. So I'm going to need more than science-y talk to keep somebody like me interested.
Yeah, the scientists don't know either. They're just trying to figure it out.
They're arguing about it as we speak. Yeah.
Right, and I get that you're trying to touch on that, and you're trying to make this more like hard sci-fi, or almost like a sci-fi mysticism, where it's like, like we haven't. It's the science we don't understand yet, which still exists in the realm of magic. Is kind of where I feel like you're doing. Like you're gonna be like, it's gonna feel like magic, but you're like, no, I've got a scientific reason for why all this works. But again, for somebody like me who's, invented a magic space rock, so I don't have to deal with hard science, a lot of that's going to go over my head.
Yeah, this is definitely not a hard science fiction work. They're just trying to figure it out, and they have no idea.
Well, what I'm saying is that the dialogue makes no sense to me. So
yeah, no,
they might as well be speaking Greek. So my point is, the story is going to need more than science-y gobbledygook talk. They're going to need more than that to get people in. And right. I don't really feel like this story has it yet. And I don't really feel like these characters are characters that I care enough about that I would want to watch this movie 2 or 3 times to try to figure out the story, like I did with Memento.
Right. Yeah. Not to just continue on with this, but yeah, the science-y talk was supposed to play 2 purposes. One, to just banter about the possible scientific aspects of it, and to have these 2 nerds flirt with each other through that that's how they're relating towards each other in the beginning here. So, but yeah,
I understand that, but I mean, like, I would even harken back to like Big Bang Theory. They had a lot of nerds doing cutesy, nerdy, flirty talk, but it was still It was still funny. You still don't have to understand the science to get the joke.
Right.
So so normal people can still connect with that. And even though they had scientists and people that were helping the writers come up and be as scientifically accurate as they possibly could, when Sheldon and blanking on his girlfriend's name, but when they were like dating and they would go off and they would start talking about stuff, then you didn't have to understand the science to still enjoy the scene, to still get the jokes, to still connect with them as characters in a relationship.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I get what you're trying to do.
Out then. Yeah, this is a good excuse to cut more stuff out. So yeah.
I think what you just need to do is you need to focus on why we should care about Anna and why we should care about following her on this journey, because she's the main character. She is the one this is all about. She's the one doing all the time fancy schmancy stuff. And
Fancy schmancy, I love it.
but I mean, like, she is your main character. So honestly, if we don't know what her deal is, we don't care about her, you know. And that was one of the things that I remember we commented on in an earlier version where she was basically showing up as a total floozy. And that's not really an endearing character trait that most people are going to be drawn to and want to, you know, go on that journey with her. And that's where I feel like you need to land that hook with this character, and get us there first. And then once we're engaged in the character and what her journey is going to be, I think then we'll be more engaged in trying to figure out what all of the sciencey stuff is.
Okay.
But right now, I don't feel that, me personally.
Let's assume that I completely agree with you. What, give me a scene that would help you with that.
Well, I think I don't remember the first 10 pages now.
I want to say, what is the conflict of this story?
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Who is Anna, and what does she do? What does she want? What is she trying to accomplish?
Well, Anna is a few different people in a few different universes that are linked by one lifetime, and she has kind of happened upon like reality bending, quantum physics,
right? And what is she doing with it
around her?
And made an 8-ball that changes the past. That's what Anna is, and that's what she does. But what is the conflict that involves her, and what are we hoping for?
And what does she want?
Largely a relationship story, but also, you know, the internal struggle of Anna to repair her past.
Okay.
To find.
So at its core, it's kind of a love story between Anna.
Yeah, that's the central story.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
So why don't? All right. So if that is the key, if that's what the story is about, then write that first.
Right.
And then do the other stuff on the side.
Right.
And then blend it all together.
Yes.
Because right now it seems your story seems to be about this girl that can bend time and space and travel between dimensions, but she doesn't do anything with it. She's just kind of, all she does with it is go screw a dude in a bar.
Right.
And that's just not what, if I am watching a movie of somebody that can jump between universes and, like, we'll go back to Chris Nolan because he loves screwing with time. Like Inception was a movie about going into people's dreams. That was the concept, but that's not what the story was about. The story was about a dude trying to reconnect with his children.
Yes.
That's what the story was about. It was about, my kids are in a far off place. I want to reconnect with them. What do I have to do that? This is what I have to do. That's the story of Inception. The story of Memento is a dude trying to figure out who killed his wife. That's the story. All of the other stuff is just the means to the ends. It's a concept to get you there. And I don't feel like your story doesn't feel like it's supposed to be a relationship romance story. I think if that is the point, then I think one of my suggestions before was to basically cut all the earlier crap and just, shouldn't say crap, because it's useful and interesting, but not where you have it. If the story is the relationship, then that should be your inciting incident. The meet cute should be the inciting incident. They meet in a bar, they start chatting. We should get to know both of these characters. We should think that they're cute, they're charming. We want them to get hooked up. Maybe they don't get hooked up because something happens that keeps them as separate. And now the whole story is about Anna trying to fix whatever quantum bending thing that she broke in order to get this relationship back together. I don't know. I'm just like,
Yeah, I mean
you
that's
have some
definitely
smart concepts, but
that's
I feel like
Mhm.
that's what I'm waiting for. Like, this is a character that can jump through dimensions. I want to see her jump through dimensions and do stuff.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll cut some of that stuff out and like not focus. I've spent more time trying to explain stuff because I felt like people y'all were
Yeah,
getting
look,
not
I
sure
would
what
just say like it's kind of sciencey, whatever. Like don't even like. Look, I look at it like Donnie Darko, right?
Yeah.
It's a pocket universe that's split off by a jet. It's just kind of
Yeah, it's not that important
not
the
that
actual explanation
Yeah.
in Donnie Darko or any of these movies.
right.
Yeah, but
So I would
yeah.
say, look, what does Anna know when Anna is with what's the guy's name?
Jay,
Jay.
Yeah, what does Anna know at that point?
what do you mean? What does she know? She knows. Yeah, she knows that she's likely very different, but that
She's
she
attracted to him. That's
Okay,
what she
but
knows.
she doesn't know the future,
about what?
right? She hasn't lived like a whole bunch of lifetimes. She
Right,
hasn't met
right.
him a bunch of times before.
Right. She's only lived this one lifetime, right? But
Well,
you got the sense that she has been skipping around because okay. Yeah.
She shows
I mean,
up at a
I
bar
don't
and
know.
screws the first guy she sees. Yes, she comes off as a floozy.
She
That
does.
that is our introduction to this character.
Yes.
So yes, that's just the way that you introduce the character. So that's the way we see her. I mean, like, what if they were just going to the same university and she's a normal, ordinary, boring university girl? Classic hero story. She's a normal, ordinary, boring university girl, and then in the middle of a class, bam, shit starts happening. Like the teacher's prattling on in class, and she notices the clock spinning backwards, and then she has some kind of schizophrenic episode, and then she all of a sudden remembers things, and she starts getting visions, and then she starts being able to sense things that aren't right, and then she learns this, and we follow her as she does that. Then we're kind of interested. Okay, what the hell is going on with this girl? I don't know. It's just
I'm yeah. I
I'm
mean,
just
that's
spitballing
definitely
ideas. You don't have to take any of them. I'm just
Yeah, no.
I'm just trying to basically say, like, I don't. Again, if the goal, if the story is about a relationship, then that needs to be the goal. If the story is about her unlocking secrets of her powers and her past,
No, it's not
then
what it is. Nope.
the relationship doesn't matter.
Or giving birth to Christ.
Yeah, or giving birth to Christ. Like, what the hell's that got to do with it?
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
well, I was in part.
she's
This is
Mary
about
too. Like,
she's what?
Mary, the Virgin Mary, the mother of Jesus.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, she's all of these people. All it makes no, again. Okay.
Anyway,
yeah. I mean, obviously, if she's the Virgin Mary, she might also be, able to. She might also be going through different timelines and stuff. But yeah, you're right. There's a lot going on. I should probably just get rid of more stuff. I don't think I can get rid of this sort of this magical thinking that she's caught up in. That's that's intrinsic to her internal story. I could make her less of less promiscuous. That's easy. That doesn't change anything structurally. So
Not
I mean,
just
I'm
not,
not
not
telling
less,
you to
just
I'm not
positioned. Yeah, just better positioned as to building her character out rather than just having an activity. I mean, Danny mentioned that it's a lot of people doing stuff, and that's she's just doing that. We don't know why or what her drive is or how it defines her. If it could be placed in context of how it's defining her, it's a power trip and she needs power, or something that she missed out on it in a past life or in the past, and so she's not going to miss out on it this time. Hold on a minute, I got to go blow this guy in the bathroom because I realized in my past I had an opportunity to do it and I didn't.
give some context as to what her motivations are.
Yeah, it will. It comes out in the next 5 pages or so. But yeah, I hear you, and maybe it colors the character the wrong way in the beginning.
John said it perfectly well. That's our first impression. That's the one that will last.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean it's accurate, but that doesn't mean that draws you into that character. So, and I know, these readers, as well, or they're gonna throw something away within the first 10 pages typically. So, yeah.
Anyway,
Awesome if there was like characters and a conflict, and if the dialogue was consistently like on the same topic, and not people answering questions with questions. And actually, there was a clear through line explaining what was going on or what the direction of the conversation was throughout any of this. We're 20 pages in, and it's mostly just confusing.
Okay.
And as cool as the 8-ball rolling around on the dude's back while they're having sex looks, the concept that she can't grab it is, I know I said this before, unless the dude is freaking fat, there is no reason why she's not going to be able to reach her arms around and grab the thing. She's got 2 arms. She can reach around and touch her fingers on.
What if it was quantumly repulsed from her?
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. I thought that was the whole point.
Can you imagine the poor actors doing 10,000 takes of that?
They would be.
I'll just cut out the sex scene. I don't know. It's
They would be on the verge. That's
a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Well, what if one of the actors forgot to brush their teeth? That would just be misery.
Tic Tacs. That's
let me ask Preston one question. Preston, were you as confused as everyone else was?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I understand like quantum entanglement and stuff, and
yeah,
I understand the double slit experiment and relativity, and well, I mean, like no one really
special relativity. You understand special relativity?
Yeah, there's a difference. Yeah.
I mean, look, I majored in chemistry, so I have some understanding of physics, but like you chemists and physicists would, physicists would be like, time doesn't exist, and chemists would act like you people are just stoned. Like, okay, why don't we meet tomorrow at 11:45 and discuss that time doesn't exist? Would that work for you? And they'd be like, sure.
And I'm a college dropout, so
yeah.
Okay. So the science is confusing to you.
Well, but if it's essential, I don't get it. If it's essential, if it's referential and explains something that's going on, go for it. But right now, I can't tell that.
And if it's just an Easter egg for the smart people, then everything else has to be interesting enough to keep people engaged. Because when 90% of your people don't get it, there has to be something for them. That's why I mentioned Big Bang Theory. Big Bang Theory was not a successful sitcom because smart people watched it.
Right. And Big Bang Theory, they gave you a laugh every 20 seconds or so, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what sitcom is.
They kept feeding you, right? So
right, people came into that for a laugh to watch a sitcom about dorks doing dorky things and having dorky relationships.
Yeah.
The smart stuff was just something on top of a layer on top of that. That most people didn't get, but the people that did get it got it.
Well, but it's also the connective tissue of that particular story, and they all have something like that. So that where it's successful, there's some relationship that's built that the interactivity feels like as it should be. That we understand why these people are together, that why they're always together, and then the zany antics that occur while they are, and the sciencey part of it were the zany antics. They had arguments about things that you would argue about, which skateboard wheels are better for pavement. These guys talked about, which
which split electron test is the more valid one, and then beat each other up over the fact that you believe that. It's like it's relatable in that form.
Right, exactly. We didn't have to understand what they were saying to get that they were just razzing each other or whatever. Like you mentioned with the skateboard. Like, I don't know skateboards, but a funny scene about two people talking about skateboards, if it's done well, could still be entertaining. That's really our point.
Yeah.
Right. And I think you're saying too that there's too much flashback material there. It's
confusing.
It's not adding,
your
it's
structure
making things worse.
Okay, what I told you before was about that, or I wrote it somewhere. We talked about the time stream. You referenced time streams to give us a sense of when things were happening. And that's why my suggestion around naming Anna's character, actually 3 different characters by age, so that we know who's talking at that point. Can't just say Anna for all of them and have in the scene heading that it's 2012. So Anna at 6, Anna at 16, Anna at 11, Anna at 23, whatever her ages are, name the character that, so that we know who's talking. And that gives us a sense of time, 1. Number 2, if you use that time stream reference as a graphic or a super that goes in there, that also orients us.
Right.
And sees what's going on. So.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe I'll cut out another half page of flashback. But yeah, okay. All right, what's Kalika doing?
The more I watch physics on YouTube, the more I'm like, physics doesn't really know what's up with physics right now. I think like someone said like, really physics right now just needs to admit they don't really know much, and then in 100 years maybe they'll figure it out.
But that's what they said 100 years ago. It's true. They're trying to figure shit out. Yeah. That's the job, and that's what people slam science for. Is that it's not a fact, and we're still figuring out what facts fucking are.
Okay, but I want to say in like chemistry or geology, we got it pretty well down. But and like I remember in the 80s, I read A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking, and he was like, okay, the only real physical force that operates on like planetary scales is gravity. So we know that all the galaxies are flying apart, and that gravity must be pulling them back across distances. So we're expecting them to be slowing down, and which makes logical sense. If gravity is the only thing operating, well, then all the galaxies should be pulling on all the other galaxies, and the universe should be kind of experiencing a desire to contract. But now we've done more research or a little more observation, and it turns out the galaxies are accelerating away from each other, which makes no sense. And in order to explain that, physicists have invented dark energy. What is dark energy? It's the reason why the galaxies are flying apart. What is it? We have no idea.
Yeah, well, they got to name it.
Right. That's why it's dark.
That's why they called it a Big Bang too. There was a concentrated element of some sort that exploded because it became so dense, and then it's expanding out. But is it elastic? Is it expanding out and then slowing down? And maybe, Preston, that's 1 billion years from now. So it's really just they're searching for an explanation, no differently than a religious Buddhist monk is searching for understanding. There's no difference in what there is, except in the repeatability of something they think might happen. And if they can do that, then that's something you can kind of depend upon, like stepping on your brakes at a red light and the car does not go into the intersection. We can depend on that. It's repeatable.
All right.
Speaking of Big Bang Theory, that was one of the funniest things about the string theory. When Sheldon went into string theory, it was all the rage in science. And then when that kind of fizzled out, so did he get out of it too. It was very, very interesting.
So did what?
Well,
so
there's still string theory.
When string theory was first kind of coming out.
Yeah, it used to be really hot. Yeah.
Right. Well, Big Bang Theory had this whole thing where Sheldon was basically changed his focus into string theory. And
Neat.
that went for several seasons until the whole string theory thing fizzled out. And when that happened, he had to get out. Basically, they rewrote the story again, and he kind of went through this thing where, like, now I don't know what I'm going to do because string theory's not a thing anymore.
Well, it's like you lost your girlfriend. You know, what are you going to do now?
Yeah, it was just kind of funny when you were talking about, like how science physics, we don't really understand things. And again, this is why I invented a magic space rock to do all the physics for me.
Sure, exactly. There you go.
So sorry to blow up the format, guys, but like I feel like Rutger's nowhere near as bad as Draco. We should consider like reading his script.
I would like to, yes. All right. One thing I can say about your script, Erwin, it certainly gets people talking. All right, who wants to narrate for us?
Oh no, I'll do this one.
Let's
Where are we
start
starting?
here. This is the start of a new scene.
Exterior women's ward night. Kalika lies awake, hands over her heart, staring at the ceiling, repeatedly blinking. At the far end of the room, the female orderly nods off in a chair. Gentle sleep sounds. Kalika blinking slows, becomes more deliberate. She abruptly sits up. In the bed next to her, Asha bolts upright. They have a look. The next dialogue in loud whispers.
I have an idea.
So do I.
So do I.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So do I. You first.
We all want to make it in Bollywood. We all deserve a break, but no one is going to hand one out.
True.
So we make our own break.
How?
The camera, the storage locker. We make a video.
Meow chicka wow wow.
Direct. Dev can act. Susie can sing. We use all our talent.
That's crazy.
Maybe crazy, but also brilliant.
Crazy good. I can dance.
You certainly can.
What do we do with this video?
We push it to the internet. Let the world know that we are here.
That none of us belong here?
That music, song and dance, sound, vibrations, they have the power to heal. This we know. We share what we know.
How do they know that, though? Asha nods thoughtfully.
How do we get to the internet? We have no computer.
We must become very bad patients.
To do a very good thing?
Yes, to do a very good thing. Wake up, Susie.
Asha reaches to the bed on the other side, pats it hard. Susie bolts upright. Well, everybody's bolting upright.
Yes.
Wake up normally. Asha screams. The orderly awakens, flips on a light, rushes to the chaos.
What is the meaning of this?
Kalika grabs the Tibetan bowl, works it with the mallet. Everyone chills. The female orderly returns. Erwin, do you know anything about Buddhism? What does working a Tibetan bowl with a mallet mean?
It's a hum.
Well, yeah, the bowl sings, right? Well,
Yeah.
Robert, you go ahead. Yeah.
Well, it's a vibration that the mallet creates when you rub it around the interior rim of the bowl.
Yeah.
And that it's a very calming frequency, and they have different bowl sizes and stuff. So,
Okay. Everyone chills. The female orderly returns to her chair, calm restored. The fetal woman, I don't know who that is, sits up and points at Susie, Asha, and Kalika with the most deliberate index finger, points at the female orderly. Entranced, the female orderly's head lowers. She's out. Interior hallway night. The male orderly lies on a cot in the corridor, curled up, sleeping. The patients, under supervision of Kalika, Asha, and Susan, tiptoe down the corridor, stopping between the storage cabinet and the orderly on the cot under a lightweight blanket. Kalika makes hand gestures. She wants fetal woman with her, motions to the rest, up to the storage unit. Fetal woman, who doesn't have a name for some reason, reaches into her waistband, comes out with 2 pills. She wiggles her eyebrows at Kalika. Kalika takes the pills, approaches the male orderly. There's a male orderly now who softly snores, mouth open. She slips the pills in his mouth, gently squeezes his nose. He snorts, gasps, works his mouth, and swallows.
He dies. Oh, Jesus.
Crimes. Let's do crimes.
Well, he's working his mouth and swallowing, so it's now a John Lamont script. He
There you
turns over, his light cover falling on the floor. The lanyard sticks out of his pocket. Kalika and Fetal Woman have a look. A few hand gestures back and forth about how to remove the lanyard. Fast or slow. Fast wins. The Fetal Woman reaches, grabs the lanyard, and yanks it out. Everyone freezes. Sorry about that.
Nice.
The male
Sound effect.
orderly smacks his lips, dropping a level deeper in drug-induced sleep. Fatal Woman whips the lanyard down the corridor. Ben White snags it from the air, hands it to Dev, who carefully works the key in the lock. Why do all these people have names except Fetal Woman? The door of the storage unit loudly creaks as it opens. A collectively held breath, quiet, OS, the sound of sirens, helicopters. Dev removes the camera, holds it to Ben. Susie winks at Kalika, grabs the key from Dev, tiptoes down the corridor and unlocks Dr. Pandit's office. She enters. Ben takes the camera, examining every inch of the camera as if it were the Holy Grail. Interior women's bathroom night. The group, less Susie, convenes. That tells me nothing. Convenes near the trash can and paper towel dispenser. Ben cradles the camera. Dev leans his weight against the door. Kalika joins him in the effort. They
will shock our brains.
What?
It's true. When patients get in trouble, they are punished severely. We will be punished. Severely punished.
Tapping behind Kalika and Dev.
Psst, let me in.
Dev urges Kalika from the door, lets Susie in. She holds a stack of folders with a look like she discovered the lost scrolls of Thomas. Actually, I thought they found all of them. Kalika takes that in, appeals to the group.
Trouble? We are going to help people.
That is what you think. They will think ill of what we do. They will shock our brains with electricity. It's Dr. Kapoor's favorite pastime.
Does it work?
Look at Dev.
Rolls his eyes and head bobble. They never did it to me. I wooed them out of the idea.
I need my brain. I need it intact.
Reaction looks all except.
Okay, stop. What they might do does not matter. How much time do you spend worrying about things that never come to pass? Huh? It's a waste of brain power. That's a waste of emotion. That's a waste of life.
Tagline for this story.
Waste of life?
No, the whole thing, like don't waste brain power, don't waste emotion, don't waste your life. You know, like that kind of thing. Like that would make it really.
Oh, like
Anyway.
kind of like Train Spotting, but senseless.
Interior group therapy room night. Ben works the camera. Dev sets up makeshift lights, table lamps, shades removed. Susie practices scales. Asha places marks on the floor. Kalika stands, hands on her face and all. Fetal Woman, still nameless, sits on the chair, applauding the efforts of all, tapping her feet on the floor. Asha claps her hands.
Places, everyone. Let's do this.
Let's
Let's
do
do
this.
this.
Everybody, let's do this.
The patients line up.
2, 3, 4.
Indian music, rousing, dancing begins. The group chants in affirmation. Ad lib, non-religious. Why? The orderlies
I feel like
enter.
The writer should tell us what they're chanting. But
Yep.
The orderlies enter, hands on hips, ready to rumble posture through, though the male orderly wobbles, drug woozy.
This is the Rocky Horror Show.
The group freezes. The female orderly singles out Kalika, crosses to her, gets in her face. Kalika's hands turn into fists. Her jaw juts out, tightens.
What the hell is going on here?
Susie grabs folders from the floor, quickly intercepts the interaction. She eases Kalika to relax. The male orderly closes in on Susie, a volcano inside ready to erupt. Fetal Woman works the Tibetan bowl. Susie opens the folder and hands it to the male orderly. He reads, obviously amazed. He gives the female orderly a stand down.
Look, I'm quite proficient with the camera, you know.
Interior Dr. Pandit's office night. Video plays on the computer. Dev and Bren fret over technical details. Dev grabs an Ethernet cable. Snap. He nods. Thumbs up. He frantically works the keyboard. Dev gives an enthusiastic wave. Thumbs up in reply.
We're online.
Susie crosses her fingers, closes her eyes.
Viral, viral, viral.
Interior corridor outside Dr. Pandit's office night. The female intern stands guard outside the door. Footsteps, OS heels on tiles. Interior Dr. Pandit's office night. A tap on the door.
Hurry, quiet.
Dev works the computer. Over his shoulder, Kalika, Asha, Ben, and Susie. Kalika points, amazed.
Look at the likes.
1 million likes. Can that possibly be right?
The female intern whistles. Dev clears the screen. The group scatters, ducking under anything they can. The light clicks off. Interior corridor outside Dr. Pandit's office night. Dr. Kapoor approaches the female intern who whistles the tune of the dance song ? I don't know. Is that what they're whistling or is it not what they're whistling? Blocking the door.
Why don't you tell us these things? But all right.
Blocking the door to the office. Dr. Kapoor angrily gestures, get the hell out of my way. The orderly swallows, forces a smile, gently raps on the door, steps aside. Dr. Kapoor opens the door, scans the room. Interior Dr. Pandit's office day. Only the light of the computer screen. Dr. Kapoor steps in, scowling, glaring. She stems forward. Her foot nearly steps one of Kalika's fingers. Her foot nearly steps one of... Yep, that's what it says.
Yes.
Steps one of Kalika's fingers sticking out from her hiding place behind a chair. She holds her breath. Behind another chair, Dev sees this, eyes wide.
Dr. Kapoor, come quickly.
The doctor reluctantly gives up the search, returning to interior corridor outside Dr. Pandit's office night. Down the hallway, the male orderly rushes into the women's bathroom with a fire extinguisher. Smoke pours out of the door. Dr. Kapoor runs down the corridor and past the storage unit, the lock hanging open. Interior group therapy room day. The patients sit in chairs as before, bleary-eyed, exhausted. Dr. Langori scans the group. Next to her, a burnt trash can.
Does anyone have anything to say today?
Crickets. Like literal
Does
crickets?
anyone have anything they need to get off their chest?
Crickets.
An admission? A confession?
Looks between the inmates. Crickets until Dev ejects a snort. He covers his nose, his mouth in a giggle. Susie laughs. Asha joins in. Then Ben. Finally, Kalika robustly laughs. Dr. Langari looks to the doorway. Dr. Kapoor and Dr. Pandit, overlooking her shoulder, glare into the room. Dr. Langari claps her hands. Patients slowly regain their composure. They go silent as Dr. Kapoor loudly clacks into the room. She harumphs.
Everyone here is in serious trouble.
More serious,
More serious
than
than this.
Oh, sorry. Dr. Kapoor scowls at Kalika, then glances at Dr. Langari, who gets she's in trouble too, but does not know why.
Perhaps you would like to join them as a patient of this establishment.
Dr. Pandit steps forward, gently pushes Dr. Kapoor aside. He gestures to the door.
It would seem that we have unexpected visitors.
All the eyes on the doorway, a camera guy and a producer, Rohit Mehta, enter. So
I am Rohit
gets it.
Mehta.
So
It
Rohit
was
Mehta
Stars
gets a
of
name,
Mumbai.
but Fetal Girl doesn't. Eager, ready to roll.
Okay. I am Rohit Mehta, a producer with Stars of Mumbai. We wish to do a documentary of your music video.
Really? Our music video.
Yes, you have gone viral. As you must know, everyone is saying your dance makes them feel better, stronger in the heart, clearer in the soul, as if their karma is lifted.
Rohit snaps his fingers. Filming commences. Asha claps her hands.
Marks, everyone.
Back to 1.
Dr. Capita 58 and Mrs. Capita 60 enter. She leads, crosses to Dr. Kapoor. Dr. Capita folds his arms, stands sternly behind his wife, nodding as she rages.
This nonsense must stop.
The dance ensemble halts in place.
This is a mental institution, not an amusement park.
Mrs. Capita gets into Dr. Kapoor's face, who points to Dr. Pandit. Mrs. Capita storms to Dr. Pandit.
I have connections, you know, powerful connections. I can see that the state cuts off your funds. Ouch.
Dr. Pandit
Does it look
gestures,
like
look
we are-
around woman.
Does it look like we're receiving state funds?
I will shut this place down. I will have your job. I want her locked up forever.
Mother, look at me. I am well.
Mrs. Capita's look lingers on Kalika, sensing something. She's still raging.
I cannot lock her up and keep her forever if we are shut down. Perhaps you do not realize what you want.
I'm not the crazy one here.
Dr. Pandit shrugs.
She is.
Kalika rushes out. Mrs. Capita gestures to Mr. Capita. Go get her.
Go get her. Okay.
Dr. Kapoor reaches to Mrs. Capita. She shakes her head, empathetic, no.
This is great. I love drama.
Realizing she's been recorded, Mrs. Capita chills. She seeks out the camera.
I named her for Kali, you know.
That's fantastic. She's bringing down evil forces as you speak.
Kalika returns. I like this guy. He's like the most interesting
Yeah.
characters. Kalika returns, Tibetan bowl and mallet in hand. She nods to the fatal woman, who still doesn't have a name, who leaps to her feet. With Kalika, she glides to Mrs. Capita.
Wait, was
to
she
a
like
chair.
rolling around in the fetal position before?
I don't know. I do not know why that's like.
I want to
The
see the
fetal
fetal woman dance. That's got to be interesting.
Maybe she's still a fetus, but she's a woman.
Oh, maybe.
The fetal woman places her hands on Mrs. Capita's shoulders. So I guess she's not that much of a fetus if she can reach somebody's shoulders. Holds her in the chair. Kalika sets the bowl in her mother's lap, strikes the bowl with the mallet, begins swirling. Mrs. Capita spasmodically jerks, eyes flustered. She's demon possessed. She calms, goes still. Eye contact between mother and daughter. Kalika nods and smiles. Mrs. Kalika's eyes flood with tears. Asha claps.
Let's go.
Mrs. Capitia crosses to Mr. Capitia crosses to Mrs. Capitia, as you know, they need first names. As the fetal woman peels off, she still needs a name. He places his hand on Mrs. Capita's shoulders. The fetal woman takes the bowl from Kalika, resuming the bowl sounding. Kalika prances into position.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Indian music, the patient's dance, the news crew films. Dr. Pandit dances to Dr. Langari. They swoon together. Dr. Kapoor watches, arms folded, foot tapping, feeling left out. Dr. Pandit motions to Dr. Kapoor. Eagerly, she joins in on the group dancing. Push in on Kalika, who is clearly ecstatic. Exterior, Butterfly Metals Mental Rehabilitation Facility day. A butterfly approaches a tropical flower, a hummingbird to another. Chanting and music from inside Butterfly Meadows drowns out street noises, and we fade out.
All right. What a happy, feel-good story. Good job, Ruka. You know what? Is this the same guy who wrote about the twins who grew up
Yep.
in an abusive home and like ended up like having to eat things and then murdered
That would make a
everyone?
billy goat puke.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's crazy. I like it. It's very feel good. It's got songs and dances, and Rohit, and everybody liked Rohit. All right,
Rohit's great.
All right, we'll go Erwin. What do you think, Erwin?
I felt like okay. Oh, so this is the okay. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
yeah,
What do you like about it?
I imagine I would like the music and the dancing and the sound of the bowl singing, and you know the more sort of um, sensational, or not sensational, yeah, the more musical aspects of it. Yeah.
Robert.
Okay, I like the idea of it. I think it's a little too detailed in step by step of she pulls the pills out, she takes one out, they pull the lanyard out, fast or slow. They put the pill in his mouth. He closes his mouth. He swallows. He falls asleep. It's like there's too many little steps in there. We need to move a little bit more. The parts where we get to and I'm using that in the good part because it contrasts poorly with the really good parts where they do this insane plan and pull off an internet viral video of a Bollywood dance scene, which doesn't have to make sense. It just has to look like fun, which every Bollywood movie does. They are fun. And, well, not every Bollywood movie, but the ones about dancing and stuff like this with the standard characters. They need to standardize the characters into the tropey type of characters. And the Rohit guy was perfect in coming in and just like, there's insanity going on here. Yes, that's great. It was hilarious. So the good parts are augmented by some of the bad parts, but I'll get to the bad parts later.
All right, Danny.
I also liked Rohit. I liked how this is meant to be a short. I liked my headcanon of fetal woman rolling around everywhere.
There you go.
And parts of this reminded me of the Breakfast Club.
Huh.
Okay.
Interesting.
John Lamont. Needs
Yeah,
more boob?
it was.
No?
Always. But I mean, honestly, Bollywood doesn't usually. They're all about the midriffs, not about the boobs. But
Yeah.
anyway,
They're connected
It was-
to something. It's all one human form. Just imagine the rest.
it was a lot of fun. Rohit was really that character was like instant. Really connected with you like the moment that dude walked on the scene, even though you're introducing a brand new character in the last 5 minutes of your short film, and he's instantly everybody's favorite. So that's pretty cool to pull off. And yeah, like, I mean, you got your song and your dance, you go out on the big musical number. So, good on that.
How could it be made better, John?
Okay, so musicals are tricky to do if you're writing a musical and you don't have the music. So this would be kind of my thing. Like, I feel like if your writer, if you have if the person that's going to be doing the songs already is attached to the project, I feel like you need that. It feels like should be involved in this script writing process, because everything should be a song and dance. Like, them sneaking down the hallway should be like a song and dance. Like, I just feel like it should be more of that. Whereas I kind of feel like this is a musical, but we don't have the music yet. Then it's not really a musical, It was like kind of like when we were talking before, and I know he never came back. He only came like twice. But there was that guy that was doing his comic book that was also a musical comic book, and he was also a musician, and he was planning to release a CD alongside of his comic book, and they were to complement each other. But he was writing both. He was writing the music and the comic at the same time. And I feel like this is kind of lacking half of that. And I feel like the script would be stronger if it had that sense of that musical sense embedded into more of the story throughout. And that was the main thing that I noticed, besides my few comment about Fetal Woman not having a name. But I will let Robert talk about his favorite thing to talk about, which is the number of characters you have in the story.
Okay, can I take that cue?
Well, I mean, we have a format.
Yeah.
Okay, Danny, you go.
Okay, so
I teed up for it though.
no, you
Okay.
totally did, and I'm not jumping on that cue at all. I think you should watch The Breakfast Club, because the way that deals with shenanigans in terms of conflict works, whereas here it doesn't. There's fabricated conflict, which is less fun, and there's two major structural problems in this script as I see it. The first is that the villain does not appear until page 21 of 22. The second is that the only musical instrument in this joint is a Tibetan singing bowl, which means the entire dance number is done to non-diegetic music in a musical about creating music. Which means actually it's like the entire concept is not flying. Like this works if they go and actually like extemporize like an actual song and dance with actual musicians doing actual music live while the orderlies are out to get them and being prevented from doing so at every turn. A whole bunch of people doing a musical silently to BGM in a room is silly. And yes, for most viewers, it's not going to be obvious that's what's happening. But whoo, boy, is that obvious. That really takes a lot away from what's meant to feel good. And actually it doesn't, because while the characters are doing an art thing, they're not doing an art thing in a way that's risky.
How is it not risky?
Sorry, not the riskiest. It's not the most art thing.
But I mean,
They are not.
They could get their
They're
brain
not
shot,
rebelling to the maximum of their
Electrocuted, yeah.
ability, and so I don't feel as good as I would if there was like a literal drummer hitting things and a literal singer singing things.
Sure, yeah.
And all of that, none of which actually like diegetically happens.
Okay.
The only musical instrument is Tibetan singing bowl.
Fair enough. All right.
And 7 people do a dance routine to that, to non-diegetic music, which that's not sticking the landing.
Well, I mean, musicals have music appear out of nowhere all the time.
They do, but usually there's a whole lot of people singing it.
All right. Robert.
Okay, well, taking John's cue, there's way too many characters. You don't need the hierarchy of doctors. Make it one doctor. Make all those characteristics from all those doctors be one doctor. Let the doctor be a little bit crazy, which I believe in the first part of it, the doctor kind of was, as I recall. And I agree with John that I would like to see them dance everything. There was a movie from the 60s called Umbrellas of Cherbourg where the entire thing was sung. Not like an opera, but like each scene was there. Not my favorite film, but I appreciate the creative effort that went into it. It would be funny to do that with this film. The contrast of how horrible the circumstance is and trying to cancel that out with the lightweight humor at the end. And I'm going back to what we read last week. It's going to be too difficult to overcome. You need to start with the kind of funny stuff earlier in the story structure. And here's a, a suggestion on how I think it could work is as if there's a she walks in as she's being brought into the institute. She walks by a room where they're doing musical therapy. That establishes that there's other instruments available. So they're sitting there and they're playing really horrible, music on things with a triangle and and a tambourine, and somebody's got a horn, and they're just really terrible. She walks past it and looks in the room and looks around, and that's, oh my God, I'm with these people that they don't know anything about music. And then other stuff starts to appear when they decide to do the thing. She sings the plan to go and get the camera. Then they dance their way down the hallway, as John said, and they achieve all these things. That way it can be just like she pops out the pill and puts it in his mouth in a dance move. You would do the same thing, like, if it were a karate film, there would be karate moves that move them through the scene and everything. And then they would find, along with the camera and however they access the computer, which was never quite clear to me, but the musical instruments that were in that room, and suddenly they can all play really good, and they've got the music to do the dance, and then they're scared because they've been punished for it. They're about to be punished, and it's going to be horrible, and all this kind of stuff. And then the producer comes in, Rohit, and he's a big hit because he says, oh, this craziness, this is real drama. I like it. So he suddenly justified all the craziness that society has demanded that those people be put into this institution as, hey, it has validity. We'll couch it in a creative effort, and look, 1 million people like it, and the show ends with a happy ending. I'd go that route somehow and
Wait, Robert,
establish.
are you suggesting that if you're going to have a payoff, you should set it up?
Oh my God, Danny, you saw right through me.
I did.
There you go. That's it. So something along those lines. Rucker, you can do it. There's funny things in there. And then there's drudgery of too many step-by-step things, which I brought up earlier. Turn those into dance moves. Make a choreography. You know what? Go see, what is it? Crouching Tiger.
Dragon.
Whatever. Yeah, I can't remember the name. I always get it wrong. But that is lyrical ballet on film with, basically karate moves. It's fabulous. Do that with this. Make it Bollywood. Bollywood always ends up being funny. I was even moving my head side to side, imagining what this could look like. So I think there's potential. Needs a lot of work, Rutger. A lot.
I don't think,
Tiger, Hidden Dragon. That's it.
Yeah. I don't think you can do Bollywood even 75% as good as Bollywood, right? I don't know what experience Rutger has and his filmmakers have and whatnot, but if you're going to do Bollywood, people are not going to be like, oh wow, they're going to be like, eh.
Go to Mumbai, produce it there.
Yeah, that's true. If you can travel overseas and get the better
overseas. He's already overseas.
Yeah, he's in Denmark, I think, or Holland.
Well, then he'd have to travel overseas again. I mean, just as much. So
maybe.
But yeah, I mean, if I were Rutger, I would take it the other direction, which is, I think he has a darker bone in his body. In the end, it's there's no producer. They're not going viral, perhaps, but only in their brain. I mean, that's much more realistic too, of course. And that would set the tone for an ending where they sort of fall back into their lives, but every once in a while they have this crazy, this one woman leads the entire mental institution into this wild, ecstatic and beautiful sort of dance. But at the end, she just takes her pill and goes back into her stupor for a while. That's the way I would take it, because that to me is more interesting, and it's going to be more successful than trying to do something that's as happy and acrobatic and well choreographed and clever as a Bollywood film.
Okay.
The characters. Yeah, that's the part. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, my my main note here would be I feel like the quality of the end result is going to be less about the quality of the connective scenes and more about just the quality of your music video production and the music and the dancing and all that, which is not really an element of your script. It would be like writing a scene for, or like a script for a music video, but really it's like, is it a good song? So if this is the direction you want to go in, then you need to be partnering with somebody who can do that stuff, and they should be a part of this process, or you should be writing a script around this song already, as opposed to knocking out the script and being like, and then add some cool Bollywood number and it'll be great, because it won't. The when making a musical, the music is more than half, I would say. So anyway, that's it.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I gotta get going. I will see you guys next week.
Next week.
and Have a good one.
All right.
You too.
Take care.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
All right. Next week. All right, guys. Well, next week we'll have some more stuff.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Sure we will.
Okay. All right. See y'all later.
See
Good night,
y'all.
everybody.
Take care. Good night.
Good night, everybody.